Hello and welcome. It is Madeline here. I'm still adjusting while Facebook Live started. Hello, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate, whenever you are watching this. I haven't been on in a while, but I had this conversation with a colleague of mine recently who called me in distress over what she was going through. And I wanted to come on and share it with you because I'd been in a similar situation. I experienced similarly what she was going through with her family member right now. And I know that a lot of you are going through similar things with your friends and loved ones as well. So I wanted to pop on and share this topic with you today. So my friend and colleague called me because she was distraught over her young adult daughter wanting to take the jab. Okay, so this is not about whether or not you should take the jab, right? I've done videos on that, and I invite you to go look at them, find them in my feed because they are still true today as they were when I did them many months ago. So, but anyway, my friend and colleague is very concerned over her young daughter getting the jab and doesn't want her to, for obvious reasons, right? So I am just going to share some quick data on what's going on around that you may not be hearing in mainstream media. And that as to date, as of mid-December, over the past year, there have been over 20,000 reported deaths, over 20,000 reported deaths from those who have taken the thing. And we know that less than 1% of deaths and adverse events are even reported to people who collect such data. So again, over 20,000 deaths, over 100,000 adverse reactions, and over 156,000 serious injuries. Young healthy athletes are dropping dead and or having serious cardiac events, and even children are dying and having serious events. Additionally, my friend's child is a young woman, right? And we don't know what the long-term effects are for childbearing if you get the thing, right? So, but what we do know is that stillbirths are up as a result of young women who have, or childbearing women who have gotten the thing. And bleeding is occurring, and abnormal bleeding is occurring in women of menstruation age, and even menopausal women have certainly started bleeding again. And women who are pregnant are also having strange bleeding. So something's amiss with the whole thing, and she doesn't want her daughter to suffer potentially seriously dangerous side effects, which I can appreciate. So I asked her why, why is her daughter so, her daughter's like 18, 17, 18, 19 years old. And why is she so hell-bent at getting the thing? She's young, she's healthy, she gets it, she'll be, she catches a cold or flu, she'll be fine. It will suck, but it will be fine. And she says, well, her grandparents are still alive, whom she sees on a regular basis, and she doesn't want to kill them. Oh my goodness. So this gave me the opportunity to discuss how contagion is a myth, or how germ theory is a myth. So if that's a little bit of a stretch for you, I'd like to take this opportunity to share about that now, right? So germ theory, which was posited in the late 1800s, I believe, by Louis Pasteur, and then went viral, pun intended, and then became, the mode operatus, or anyway, the MO for the birth of a lot of medicine, and is the baseline for what's going on in the world today, right? The fear for what's going on in the world today, that, my germs can make you sick, or potentially that my germs can kill you. In my opinion, and in the opinion of many physicians that I follow. That's ridiculous. So like, I'm not going to go down, I am going to go down that rabbit hole just a little bit, right? So Louis Pasteur, who posited this theory that took off like wildfire, and then later germ theory was born, and now all kinds of medicines, and now this scamdemic, in my opinion, was, and many others, was born around this germ theory. So whereas, and Louis Pasteur, for the record, on his deathbed, said that it was wrong, that he was wrong. So, and now it's coming to surface that, you know, germ theory or contagion, right, that I can, you know, that my germs can make you sick, that's being debunked. But, you know, censorship is keeping that information from you. So I just want to give you a little synopsis on contagion, and that is, you know, and or germ theory. So like so anyway, back to my friend and her daughter. The theory that I can make you sick, or that I can make you so sick that I'm going to kill you, again, is, in my opinion, ridiculous. And just doesn't make sense that our creator, right, that God, or whatever a higher power, whatever you believe in, would operate like that we would be a threat to each other. That doesn't make sense to me. And perhaps when you look within, that doesn't make sense to you either. So how do you get sick? 4 ways we get sick. The first way is injury, right? So for example, you cut yourself, it gets dirty, it gets infected, you can get sick, okay? So injury. The second way is starvation. So, and I don't mean that you're not eating at all, right? So obese people can be starved, right? Starved for nutrients, right? You're not getting the proper nutrients that your body and physiology needs from, you know, whole, nutritious, clean food. Okay, the third way is toxicity, right? Toxins. So this is toxins in the environment, toxins in our food, alcohol, smoking, for example, again, toxins in our food, and medications, right? Because medications, including the thing, are chemicals, right? They're not natural to our physiology. And the last way, right, which is kind of like contagion, but not really, is through resonance, right? Which is not so much as, you know, I cough and gets on, you know, droplets get on my hand and they get on you and they make you sick. No, that's never been proven, by the way. And I did a video on that some time ago. I invite you to go look for that in my feed if you haven't watched it already, where I dove into this topic in depth. And so that's never been proven. So the fourth way is through resonance, which is we spend time together, I believe, even like this, virtually, right? Because there is no time and space. And my cells talk to your cells and tell them that there's a threat. Prepare, right? That there's something going on in my physiology. There may be, right? Which is as a result of my environment, right? So that perhaps you should look and prepare for said threat as well, right? Oh, and toxins also includes negative emotions, negative relations, you know, relationships, toxins from negative media, for example. So I explained this to my friend and colleague. I got to give her that little lesson, which is a little comforting for her, but probably is not going to change her daughter's mind unless her daughter considers that, you know, the thought that she could potentially kill her grandparents by breathing on her is highly unlikely, if not impossible, once she sits and thinks about it. So anyway, we're going to assume that she's unable to change her daughter's mind. And maybe, you know, maybe it's the other way for you. Maybe you've been jabbed and you want your loved one to get jabbed and they don't want to for whatever reasons at the end of the day. So my friend is very concerned about her daughter, and she was in distress that she wasn't going to be able to change her mind. And she's probably not going to be able to change her mind with information, right? Because the information is out there. And if her daughter hasn't looked at it as of yet, she's probably not going to. So we already talked about all the dangers of all the things, and her daughter doesn't want to hear it. So what can you do, right? When you're at odds with someone in your life, and, you know, especially about what's going on in the world, you're on opposite sides of the fence about what's going on in the world, and you want your loved one to see your point of view and come over to your point of view because you are afraid for them. What can you do, right? How can you change their minds? First of all, you can't change their minds, right? Like that's a losing battle. You can't do that. All the information is out there. This is not an information war. This is a spiritual war. So what are our weapons or our tools? So I invited my friend and colleague to pray for her daughter, right? So, and you know, the inclination is oh, please God, don't let her get the jab, right? So, and even though that's what she wants, a better prayer would be for, you know, thank you, God, for blessing, you know, my daughter, whomever, with putting her on the best path for the best outcome for her. Please lead her to do what's best for her. And that's a hard thing to do. I can acknowledge that. It's a hard thing to, one, let go of the, I'm going to change your mind. I am able to change your mind. I'm going to try to change your mind. And that's where meditation comes in, right? So meditation, particularly a silent mantra-based meditation like I teach, will give you the strength and the mental ability to recognize when you're fighting a losing battle, right? So, of course, my friend is probably still going to continue to try to influence her daughter, but at the end of the day, her daughter is a young adult who can think for herself and is going to make her own decisions. So, and what can my friend do is I'm praying for both of them, right? I'm praying for my friend, and my friend can pray that she will accept her daughter's decision and that her daughter will be safe and healthy regardless of her decisions, and pray that God helps her daughter continue down the right path for her. Because at the end of the day, she's going to live her own life and take the path that she deems best for herself. Okay, so that's prayer. And again, it's pray for, you know, pray to whoever, you know, you believe in, whatever you believe in, and pray for the best outcome for them, not necessarily what you think the best outcome is for them. And then meditation, right? A regular meditation practice will give you the ability, the mental strength and ability to not get sucked into the arguments, right? That when, you know, her daughter potentially talks about doing the thing that she doesn't want her to do, that she'll have the strength and the awareness to not argue with her, perhaps have a calm, conscious conversation about what her options are or can be, and keep her from that reactionary mode of, you're not going to do this, I want you to do this, or trying to change the other person's mind. Again, that's exhausting. It usually leads to strained or damaged relationships. And at the end of the day, you didn't do any good. You didn't change anyone's mind. And you probably, again, strained or hurt the relationship. So as always, prayer and meditation, pray for the highest good for all. And meditation, so you can have the peace and calm in your heart to accept whatever outcome is presented to you. So if you don't know how to meditate, I'm going to put my free meditation starter kit, either in the narrative, in the comment, narratives above or below, or in the comments below. You can grab that and I can teach you how to meditate. And then you can reach out to me with any questions that you have. So I hope this serves you. Let me know if similar things are going on in your world, and we can engage in a discussion. about it. And again, prayer and meditation will help you get through. It's important to do both, right? Prayer is when you talk to God. Meditation is when you listen. I hope this serves you. Namaste. Be blessed. Mwah.